Hey, this is Erika Awakening from topsmarter.com. Welcome back to day 14 of the 30-day World Peace Challenge. I hope you're enjoying the videos so far. So we just got some really awesome feedback about the videos on the forum at topsmarter.com/forum. And this reader actually participant in the videos actually suggested a topic that I think is a great one. And I think the timing is just right now, and that is defensiveness. So it's hard to have peace in the world, and it goes hand in hand with the video we just did, when we're reacting instead of responding, right? And I know I do this all the time still, and I'm trying to be more conscious about it, and I still get sucked into being defensive, and a lot of times we don't even realize when we're being defensive. So in some ways, creating this product was this free program. It was a way, it arose out of my recognition that I was even having some defensiveness about money, in the sense that I didn't want to give too much away for free because I was not having a lot of faith that people were going to contribute to me financially, and then not knowing how my bills are going to be paid and everything. So creating this program is actually quite a leap of faith for me. It's a letting go of defenses, right? Because my guaranteed money, meaning people who had signed up in contracts with me long ago, runs out this month actually, and I'm about to get the last guaranteed payment. And once I get that, there's no guaranteed payments coming in, and nothing significant after this. So I could be out there trying to drum up more money and business. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills after next week. But since I realized that my energy had become kind of constricted, in the sense that I was only really wanting strict quid pro quos, right? I was only wanting to give if I knew exactly what I was going to get back. And in some ways, that's very defensive stance. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like I have to have an upfront guarantee of what I'm getting before I'm going to give anything. So this entire program is essentially me saying, look, I need to stop being so defensive about money. I'm going to just create this, give it away for free. I'm not even going to require email opt-ins. And I'm going to trust God is going to somehow get me the money I need to keep the websites going and pay my living expenses and business expenses and everything else, which is significant to run this business. So you see how that leap of faith is a letting go of defensiveness. But that took a lot of conscious awareness on my part to get to that point. And I know there are tons of areas where I'm still totally defensive. So we could work on defensiveness in all areas. Like insurance is a form of defensiveness. Planning for retirement is defensiveness. Planning for your own death is probably the most extreme form of defensiveness. And everything that you defend against, you're creating, unfortunately. So if you're estate planning your estate, you're planning your own death, which is, do you really want to do that? That's the question. So anyway, let's get started tapping on defensiveness. And then there's some balancing to be done, because, you know, sometimes I feel like someone makes a comment and I actually feel like we're both better off if I kind of call it out. Like if it feels really disrespectful to me and I don't say anything, I'm not sure that's the right answer. At the same time, I don't want my response to be defensive, right? But I do want my response to be honest. And so and let the other person know, hey, you know, that way of communicating isn't really working for me. Because I don't feel like either person is served if you just if you felt disrespected but you don't say anything. How are they going to learn anything? How are you going to learn anything? How are you going to have good boundaries in your relationships? So there's, how are you going to have respect in your relationships if you don't speak up and say what's working and not working? So there's a confusion there about when does that cross the line into being defensive, and when is it really just communication and creating harmony and so forth, right? So we'll probably tap that confusion as well. All right, let's go on karate chop. We'll get some Course in Miracles going in a little bit. Even though I do not see how there is ever going to be world peace, because there's so much defensiveness in the world. Everyone remembers how they got hurt last year or a decade ago, or how their ancestors got hurt many centuries ago. Nobody wants that to happen again. So we're all putting on this armor. It's hard to know what are good boundaries and what are just walls that we put up to keep other people out, or keep ourselves separate. I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I am filled with defensiveness, I fight windmills all the time. I project motives onto other people. I react to my projections. I have all kinds of ways of making sure nobody takes advantage of me. And these are all defenses. The world is defensive too. Countries have built up entire arsenals of nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, biological weapons. They've got armed borders, all kinds of harsh laws, harsh punishments, lots of prisons. The world is so defended. Sometimes it's hard to see any light anywhere. And we all get fatigued. It feels like people are attacking us. It feels exhausting to be attacked. So what do? We attack back. Or we put up walls. We don't really have very much trust. That simple communication could resolve every issue on the planet. And part of the reason we don't have that trust is that our communication is also defensive. It's not really communication at all. It's mostly a lot of projection and attack. A lot of very fearful interpretations. A lot of blaming and judging. A lot of silent treatment. Refusal to communicate. And I don't know how any of this is going to change. Because everyone is so wounded. They can't even see what's really happening. They get triggered where they've been hurt before. Everyone has so much shame. Their shame and guilt get triggered. Then they fly off the handle. We're all overreacting to everything. We believe that our dismal interpretations are true. Then we have to defend ourselves. What choice do we really have? We're living in a hostile world where we can't trust our brothers and sisters. And we have to defend every possession we have with locks on the door, with insurance policies, with jealousy and rigid rules. We lock up our relationships in monogamy. We lock up our gifts to the world behind lots of policies, barriers to entry. And it's really hard to trust. What if I let go of my defenses and something bad happens? What if I let go of my defenses and I'm not provided for? What if I give this whole challenge away for free and my money runs out and I can't pay my bills? What if countries let go of their weapons and then they get attacked and they have nothing to fight back? We're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. And it's hard to take a leap of faith. It's scary to take a leap of faith. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I don't know who's going to protect me physically. I don't know what the future holds. How can I let go of my defenses? I place the future in the hands of God. If I defend myself, I am attacked. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I trust my brothers who are one with me. I place the future in the hands of God. Okay, oh, wow. Take a deep breath. Oh, man. There's a lot coming up from that. When I don't know what you're feeling, check in with your body and see what you're feeling. There's a lot of heat. There's grief. Let's go to Course in Miracles and see where we go next. Oh, that's a good one. Let's go on Karate Chop. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is a key idea in understanding what salvation means. You still believe it asks for suffering as penance for your sins. This is not so. Yet you must think it so, while you believe that sin is real and that God's Son can sin. If sin is real, then punishment is just and cannot be escaped. Salvation thus cannot be purchased except through suffering. If sin is real, then happiness must be an illusion, and defenses must be necessary, for they cannot both be true. The sinful warrant only death and pain, and it is this they ask for. For they know it waits for them, and it will seek them out and find them somewhere, sometime, in some form that evens the account they owe to God. They would escape him in their fear, and yet he will pursue, and they cannot escape. Oh, there's some grief coming from the lungs there. Alright, back on karate chop. If sin is real, salvation must be pain. Pain is the cost of sin, and suffering can never be escaped if sin is real. Salvation must be feared, for it will kill, but slowly, taking everything away before it grants the welcome boon of death to victims who are little more than bones, before salvation is appeased. Its wrath is boundless, merciless, but wholly just. Let's go on the top of your head. Who would seek out such savage punishment? Who would not flee salvation and attempt in every way he can to drown the voice which offers it to him? Why would he try to listen and accept its offering? If sin is real, its offering is death, and meted out in cruel form to match the vicious wishes in which sin is born. If sin is real, salvation has become your bitter enemy. The curse of God upon you, who have crucified his Son. You need the practice periods today. The exercises teach sin is not real, and all that you believe must come from sin will never happen, for it has no cause. Alright, let's go back on karate chop. Accept atonement with an open mind, which cherishes no lingering belief that you have made a devil of God's Son. There is no sin. We practice with this thought as often as we can today. God's will for you is perfect happiness. Because there is no sin and suffering is causeless. Joy is just and pain is but the sign you have misunderstood yourself. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in confidence that it will set you free from all the consequences sin has wrought in feverish imagination. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. Remove the heavy load you lay upon yourself with the insane idea that sin is real. Today, escape from madness. You are set on freedom's road. And now today's idea brings wings to speed you on and hope to go still faster to the waiting goal of peace. There is no sin. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth. Because there is no sin. I choose to let go of defensiveness today. I am still as God created me. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. I will accept the atonement for myself. When I am healed, I am not healed alone. Alright, deep breath. Ooh, definitely grief coming out of the lungs there. Alright, we're going to let that integrate and we will see what comes next. As always, if you have questions, please post them on the forum. tapsmarter.com/forum. That way everyone can benefit from your question and my answer and whatever discussion ensues. With private messages, we just miss out on all that helping lots of people instead of just one person. So tapsmarter.com/forum. This is Erika Awakening. See you tomorrow for day 15. Take care.